Hello, I'm the Friday Night Shooters, and today we're making a very simple cocktail. Two ingredients. This is a variation of the Boilermaker, but there ain't no Boilermaker here because we're not using a lager, and we're not using plain whiskey because we're using Crown Royal Regal Apple whiskey and a wheat beer. This is called the Regal Apple Bomb because flavor-wise, it's going to be more apple, so you want to keep more neutral type of beer. You don't want to put like a lager or anything like that, or a standard like a Budweiser or something. It's going to have kind of a funky aftertaste. But you want to get something that's a nice, neutral, like wheat beer. I wouldn't suggest using Blue Moon because Blue Moon is a Belgian wheat, so that'd be a little more of a sweeter flavor. That I really wouldn't suggest. But a simple one like the 312, which is an urban wheat, this isn't more of an unfiltered wheat beer. This is basically more of equivalent of a homebrew. I made a homebrew wheat beer. It came out real good. It was like very flavorful. I call it the Sunset Fields wheat beer, which I'm definitely making again this year. This is probably the closest to it in flavor because it's a standard wheat beer. It's lighter. It doesn't have as much of a malt characteristic as mine did. Mine I use more English hops and English yeast. This I think is more American yeast and hops, so it's a little bit different as far as the flavor goes. Well, it's very similar to one I made. But it's very good. Definitely worth trying out. But you figure that and apple, it basically tastes like maybe, I don't know, a twisted apple. There's a lot of different flavors to it. But it's very simple, as I said. And if you ever had the Crown Royal Regal Apple, this stuff is very deceiving. You can take a shot of this, feel perfectly fine, then like a moment or two later, then you get the burn. This creeps up on you. But it's very flavorful. It tastes just like green apple. It's very potent as far as the flavor goes, but it's very, very tasty. It's definitely worth trying out if you ever get a chance to check them out. Also, check here and click and actually watch my review. It's definitely worth trying out and watching a review. You love this stuff. You gotta check it out. But let's show you how it's made. Simple. 2 ingredients, 2 cups, drop, drink, done. Show you how it's done. Now we're not even using a measuring cup because basically this is about an ounce glass. So you're taking about roughly an ounce of your whiskey. You can use an ounce and a half, but it's more of a preference. If you want to have an ounce and a half of the shot, drop it in there, so be it. However you want it. Me, I'm just using an ounce. There we go. Then you want to take between 6 and 8 ounces of your beer. So I'm going about half a bottle, so it'll be about 6. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Like I said, if you ever had a Boilermaker, that's the same basis of the recipe. Different ingredients, same concept. But see exactly how this one tastes. Guarantee it's going to have a really strong apple flavor to it. I'll tell you right now, all I can smell is apple. The whole room just smells like apples. But here we go. I'll get my hands in there. Same way, I think it is very sweet. You're getting that strong apple flavor. But the fact you're using a neutral beer, the beer itself really isn't add much flavor to it. It calms and mellows down the potency of the apple. It kind of gives it more of a like a freshly cut, maybe a Granny Smith, where you just like peel it and you're taking that slice right there and you're eating it that way. But it's not like an overly potent amount of mix of flavors to it. One doesn't overpower the other; they complement each other really well. That's why I definitely, That's why I definitely suggest use a wheat beer because it's mellow. It's not a lot of flavor to it, but it's definitely a good shot. I love Boilermakers. I love Boilermakers even better when I use my Kolsch, which I'm Unfortunately, I have no more because that was the very first homebrew I ever made, which I'm definitely wanting to make that again this year. There's only one I made from a kit. The only one I probably make again from a kit because that's really good. But flavor-wise, this is great. I definitely suggest you try this one out. A simple idea of a recipe, and you can use whatever type of whiskeys you want. You can use maybe they're maple and that, but I definitely suggest you use a baseline beer. If you use a lager, use more of a cleaner type of lager, not something with a lot of hop characteristics, not a really strong malt backbone to it. So there's kind of more of a mellow flavor to it. So that way it doesn't take away from the actual flavor of the whiskey, but it kind of complements the whiskey more. Because if you're using a flavored whiskey like this, or even if you use a moonshine, which is still basically a whiskey, like say the apple pie moonshine from Hush Moonshine, you can even try that. It does the same thing. However you want to do it, it's a great concept of a cocktail. And as I said, this is the Regal Apple Bomb because it's Crown Royal Regal Apple. It's a bomb. You drink it, so it's an apple bomb. But it's definitely worth trying out. It's a simple cocktail. It's great flavor-wise. And I can really imagine how this is going to taste with my wheat beer I had before. I'm definitely looking forward to making that again because I love the flavor of this. I love it so much more with my own beer. Plus the fact that it's your own homebrew. Homebrew just makes it that much better. But let me know what you guys think. Be sure to like us on Facebook, Beer Cocktails, subscribe to our channel. But as always, drink responsibly.